I cannot handle heat in the UK. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. As you can see from today's title, I am on the letter D of this A to Z series of me. If you haven't seen A, B and C, then I will link them down below. I can just see it now. When I get to Z, there's going to be the longest list ever in my description box. But yes, I will link them down below if you haven't seen them already, and if you want to go and check those three out before you watch D, then that's absolutely fine. If you want to watch D and then go back and watch the other ones, then that's absolutely fine too. Today I'm going to be talking about diabetes, drama and Disneyland, and I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible because I don't like to make videos which are too long and bore the life out of you watching. The first thing I'm going to talk about briefly is diabetes because it is part of who I am. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 11 and I am now 25 years old, so I've had it for about 14 years. And yeah, it was really difficult when I first was diagnosed because obviously for any 11-year-old who has just started secondary school, you know, to get hit with this big news that you have this condition that you know nothing about, it was really scary. But I like to think that I've always been quite mature for my age, and from the minute that I was... There's a fly in my room. Ugh. Hopefully it goes away. From the minute that I was diagnosed with diabetes, I was self-injecting. So I didn't know people who have type 1 diabetes have to test their blood sugars to make sure that their glucose levels are within the normal range for someone who doesn't have diabetes. And we have to inject insulin into our body, which is something that your body naturally produces when you don't have diabetes. And my body does not produce insulin, so I have to inject it into my body. So from the age of 11, when I was diagnosed, I was injecting myself. Obviously there were times when I would get really down and I would sit there and cry to my parents and be like, you know, why has this happened to me? Like, why me? I kind of thought I was the only person with diabetes. It came as a shock to everybody in my family because I was, well, I think I am the only person in my family with type 1 diabetes. I know that there's a few people with type 2, but I am the only person with type 1. Now, to sit here and explain to you everything there is to know about diabetes, I would be here for literally hours and hours. Nowadays we have a wonderful thing called the internet, which you can go to and you can actually find out so much information about so many different things. So if any of you do want to know a bit more about what type 1 diabetes is, then please feel free to go and Google it and find out a little bit more about it. There have been so many times in my life with having diabetes where I've been super unwell. I have not looked after myself properly. I have been influenced by other people to do things that would cause harm to myself. So I think anybody with type 1 diabetes can relate to this, but there was a time in my life where I would just completely miss injections, and that has a really bad effect on people with diabetes, because if you don't give your body what it needs and you don't inject that insulin, your body is going to start breaking down fat. And so when I wasn't injecting, I was losing a lot of weight. There was a point in my life where I did look like I had anorexia, like, I'm not gonna lie. And I was missing injections because of a very personal situation, because of someone that I felt the need to be skinny for. But luckily now I am surrounded by people who are very supportive and haven't been in hospital with any diabetes related things for about 3 or 4 years, I think. So I, you know, started off kind of here with diabetes. I was kind of like up and down, then I went like really down, and now I'm like on the way back up. And yeah, it's just something that I've learned to live with. I've had to learn to live with. It's something that I have educated quite a lot of people about around me. Now I know that it's something that I am gonna have to live with for the rest of my life. It's something that I've just accepted, and something that, you know, I never feel sorry for myself when I have it. I could have something a lot worse. There are people out there with so much worse conditions, or, you know, illnesses that can't even be treated, and mine can. Giving myself 5-6 injections a day is absolutely nothing, because I know that that's what's keeping me alive and well, and I am so grateful for that. But yes, and having grown up with type 1 diabetes is what's given me the drive to want to become a diabetes nurse myself. So I am currently doing children's nursing in order to one day qualify as a diabetes nurse, and just kind of like help other children and teenagers in the same journey that I went through. So yeah, that's a little bit about diabetes, and it's just like part of who I am, really. The second thing that I want to talk about is drama, and that's because for 7 years that I was in education at school, I did drama. So I did it throughout secondary school, and then I did it for GCSEs, and then I went on to do it for my A-levels. So that was a big part of my life, and something that, looking back now, because I've always been quite a shy person and not really confident, but I think that really did give me a lot of confidence to act in front of, like, you know, 100 or so people, or obviously depending on what performance I was doing. It definitely gave me a boost of confidence. I was really good at remembering lines for my plays. That's something that I was always good at school. I think if I tried to memorize lines now for a play, I'd probably struggle, because I'm a bit older and my mind is a bit more like, I don't know, not so good. But it was a big part of my life. I did a lot of productions at school. I even performed at a theatre before, like an actual theatre, to go on loads of school trips to London and see loads of theatre productions. I was very lucky. We spent a weekend in London once during my A-levels, and we went to see Warhorse, Les Mis, and there was another one that we went to see that I can't really remember. But I've just had like so many experiences through doing drama, and even now I love going to the theatre. It's like one of my favourite things to do. I much prefer it to going to the cinema, and it always brings back so many memories of me being on stage. I've got loads of like videos of when I was at school doing drama. I've got loads of photos, which I might or might not insert a few here, because some of them are a bit embarrassing, but I might try and insert some that I find. That's why I wanted to talk about drama. And the last thing that I want to talk about is Disneyland, because I love Disney. Who doesn't love Disney? My favourite character is Minnie Mouse, which most of you probably know by now, especially if you're close to me, then you know that for sure. And I have been to Disneyland Paris twice when I was younger, and I just really would love to go back there again one day with Alan or with my family again. Like, no matter who it was with, I would honestly, it's on my list of places to go to again. I really want to go back there. It's just such a magical place. I'm very lucky to have been there twice already, because I've got a family that live in France. So twice when we've stayed over there during Christmas, they bought us tickets as like a Christmas present, so that was amazing. I've got video footage and photographs from when I went, and yeah, I think no matter how old you are, when you go to Disneyland, you just become a child again, and everything is just so magical and carefree and amazing. And yeah, I just think if you don't like Disney, like, what is wrong with you? Everybody loves Disney. Surely everybody has one Disney character that they just love, and mine happens to be Minnie Mouse. So it would be an absolute dream to obviously go to the Disney in Orlando or Florida, but I mean that's like really high hopes, whereas the one in Paris, it's easy enough to get to, it's more convenient to get to. And even though I've been twice, I've still not been able to see the whole thing. Like, it's just so big. I can't even imagine what the Florida one is like. And also, because I was young when I went, there was only like 1 or 2 rides that I went on as well, even though the queues for the rides can be like hours long. That's definitely something that I'd want to experience more of if I did go back again. And also, can you just imagine all of the Minnie Mouse things that I would come back with? Oh. Anyway guys, so that is everything that I want to talk about from the letter D of this A to Z of me. We hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, or if you would like to. And I hope you look forward to seeing my next video of A to Z of me, which will obviously be the letter E. And I don't really have like a time schedule of when I film these videos. I just upload them whenever I have time to, or whenever I can't really think of what else to upload. See you guys really soon with another video.